Um, my name is Jason Alon. I perform the vocal duties in a band called Let Live from Los Angeles, California, and also at times I'm known as an instigator in the band. I think the most prevalent style of music for me growing up was like soul and R&B and funk. My father was in a rock soul band, and he actually was the whole to me he epitomized cool and what music was supposed to be, and the hustle and the struggle and the artistry that makes you a musician. I saw my father doing it, and I'd have to say that has the biggest hand in what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Currently, the most inspirational piece of the puzzle for me is just is seeing how things are changing and how the idea of art and music has actually, in a way, it's kind of made a 180, and I feel like the power is. I feel like a lot of the control has actually returned to the artist's hands, and as opposed to, having to rely on the machines and things like record labels and agents and all these things. I feel like there's this resurgence of independence in music. That's the most inspiring thing to me, aside from the sonic things, the bands and people and experiences. I think it's just really, really, I don't know, it really prompts me to want to continue, knowing that there's a very good chance that I could do everything I want to do by myself. As an artist with this band, we can do it as the band and not have to rely on so many other things anymore. It's pretty cool. Yeah, in July of 2013, we released an album called The Black is Beautiful. And personally, as far as I'm concerned, with that record, I guess my biggest contribution was the literature and the thematic, the stylings and everything. So for me, it was really just this sense of catharsis and being as transparent as possible while remaining as palpable, and allowing people to feel something alongside what I was saying, what was being done in the record. I think the whole point of that record was to open up wide enough for, to let others in and let others be a part of what it is Let Live is. Because Let Live is a lot bigger than just myself or the guys in the band or, one record. Let Live is much more of a, I would like to believe, a way of, feeling and living and being. I know that sounds really fanciful, but it really is. That's just what it is to me. And so with this record, I think that our being, us being candid and eliciting those emotions in others is the best way to do that, is the best way to become accessible. So that's what we tried to do with The Black is Beautiful. It's a toss-up. I really, for me, Virgin Dirt is extremely personal lyrically, and then Pheromone Cult is a song that I wrote on my acoustic guitar 4 years ago or something. And the content, again, lyrically, and the subject matter is just something that I've been battling with, my emotional self versus my pragmatic self for as long as I can really remember. So I was, for the first time, I was able to talk about it without feeling, cheesy or too exposed, too vulnerable. Basically, we had, because we're touring in a van on this tour, and we had been looking for a van, and we had made this deal earlier in the week to secure a van for travel, and the person that was supposed to, the day before we were supposed to leave on the tour to be here on time as scheduled, the person actually kind of just fucked us. He did pull some shady moves and made everything really sketchy, and then through, I believe, his financing company and our financing company, things got really weird. So we had to scramble last minute and buy another van, and which we did, but we couldn't make it here on time. So we figured Toronto has been shown us so much love, such an abundance of support, that we had to make up the day, even if it meant, some of us missing Christmas. We felt like this was the right thing to do. So Yeah, nah, I think if you were to plan anything that you do on stage, at least with Let Live, if you're trying to plan something that seems visceral, then you're bullshitting. And if you're bullshitting, then people are gonna know. So a lot of it just is really just eviscerating yourself for a moment, taking all those things and pulling them out, you know, from within and kind of laying them out there on the stage, because that's the only place that you can, you know, that's socially acceptable, if that, you know, is on that stage. Otherwise, I'd be locked up in a, you know, in a jail cell or a mental institution. So, you know, just taking advantage of the moments we get as a band and performers, and really understanding that nothing is, you know, it's all offered to you as a you're obliged. You know, people being here, that's people obliging us. People listening to us, that's obliging us. We're not entitled to anything at all. So you got to really, really remember that every time you go on stage, and just show how grateful you are. And that's kind of our exhibition of us being grateful. Yeah. Shoot, man, that's a good one. I think more recently, like, there's two that stand out. We played Warped Tour in Pomona, and that's like our home date. We got to play the main stage. They pumped us up. We played 2 days in Pomona. The first day on our normal stage was a monster stage, and we did fairly well, and they put us on the main stage the next day. And to see the support, the homegrown support, literally thousands of people there watching us singing. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, I happen to be at the main stage. Like, these kids were there because they wanted to see Let Live play, and the support was just unbelievably sincere and just almost inundating. And then recently we played our headline run in the UK, and in London we played our largest sold out show. And not to say that like a sold out show makes you is an accolade, but what it was having that many people in the room at one time that believed in Let Live, that had that like-mindedness with Let Live, was incredible. It was like an essence that it's inexplicable. Like, I could try to put as many flowery words and use all the circumlocution I could think of, you know, but there's no way to really explain like those two moments, really, man. Like, that's what this is. That's what this is about. Is feeling something that you'll never be able to explain, and it's better that way. It's better not being able to explain it. Dude, that's really funny. I was just thinking about this last night. I was thinking about how I would answer a question like, if someone wanted to talk to me about what I think this is about, why we exist, what we're here to do. And I'm still searching, but the things that I found have all been within art for me, you know, like, or I guess their derivation certainly is rooted in art, because I think that the connection and the nexus that you find and develop through people is very beautiful. I'm sorry, I know it sounds cliched, but like, that is art to me, and I'm slowly but surely starting to figure out like what love is, you know, like what that means. And it's not what they fucking write about or what they put in movies or fucking books. That's not what love is. Love is something that you can experience with someone or some people in a moment that transcends all the things you ever found to be rational or right. And I think that's what life is, man. It's being here and not being presumptuous, not knowing what's gonna happen tomorrow even. You know, fuck what happens when I die. Like, I don't even know what the fuck's gonna happen tomorrow. And that's the beautiful thing. Like, we're allowed to feel that way, and we're allowed to learn from every error as well as every bit of joy and success that we you know, ascertain as human beings. And I guess that's what love is in the end, really. You know, it's just trying to figure out what this all means and share it with someone or a few people, you know. So I think that's what it is. Yeah.